Public housing is a wonderful thing. It is America at its very best. Hundreds of thousands of decent homes all over the country, built and sustained by government so that millions of low-income families and the elderly can have a warm and decent place to live. All really great ideas begin with a touch of idealism. Public housing was born in the Great Depression. The idea of men and women who cared about ending suffering and demolishing the endless slums that poisoned the crowded American cities. When you come to work here at the Housing Authority, you are stepping into history. And that means you've accepted a serious responsibility to keep a public trust that began a half-century ago. Keeping the public trust may sound a little pompous, even somewhat sentimental, but this is what the film is all about. Do me a favor, listen. Listen very carefully.
The subject is corruption. The scene is the Housing Authority's central office. Despite what you may have heard, civil service employees are, on the whole, honest, hardworking, and dedicated people. Actually, there is less white-collar crime in government offices than anywhere else in our economy. But there are exceptions, people who've never heard about a public trust. Here, for example, is Doug in the Contract Inspection Department.
Bill? Hi, Doug. Hey, congratulations. You're the low bidder on the roof job at Amsterdam. Yeah? Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Lunch Tuesday? Let's see. Yeah, I'm free then. Sure. Oh, no. That place is too rich for my blood. On you? Why not? Okay, Tuesday it is. See you then. Bye-bye.
Then there's Flora in housing applications.
Got a lampshade out of the bedroom and put it on his head. Hold the line. Hello? Mr. Kingston, yes. I have somebody on the other line. I'll get back to you. So, I said to Charlie, Charlie, that lampshade is you. And then he tried to kiss me, and all I got was a mouthful of lampshade. Oh. Oh, you had to be there.
What you've just seen is petty. Doug's lunch with the contractor is probably innocent, and Flora's personal phone call isn't going to bankrupt the taxpayers, right? Maybe. Maybe not. And maybe it's the beginning of little human tragedies. A couple of stories with lousy endings. 2 weeks later, Doug, the Housing Authority contract inspector, visits Bill the roofer on the roof at Amsterdam houses. Here's what happened.
This just isn't enough, Bill. The specs call specifically for 4-ply roofing. Do it this way and the whole roof will be a sewer in 2 years.
Now, wait a minute, Doug. I've been putting down 2-ply all over town, and I've never had a complaint.
Bill, trust me, I've checked it out. With just 2-ply, in 24 months, we're back here doing it all again.
Now, slow down. You remember what we discussed at lunch? I said the cost of material was out of sight, and you said I could substitute.
Substitute, not reduce the number of layers. It's just no good this way.
This is a $450,000 job, Doug. With this new material, we could save a lot of money. That way there'll be enough for everybody.
I'm not interested.
Of course you're not. And I'm not talking cash or payoffs or anything like that.
Then what are you talking about?
You remember that projection TV? The one with the 4-foot screen? It could be in your downstairs den tonight. 9 o'clock. Come on, let's get out of this, though.
Yeah.
Hey, remember to invite me over when you get this TV set, okay? All right. Hey, by the way, listen, you know, there's that other project.
You want it straight? Doug has just violated the New York State penal law, committing bribe-receiving third degree, and he will go to prison. And Bill the contractor? He's just violated the same law and will join his good friend Doug in jail. Meanwhile, our friend Flora is finally off the telephone, interviewing an applicant for public housing. Mrs. Durgan has a problem.
Please look again. Try to be calm, Mrs. Durgan. Tell me what the problem is.
We are desperate. My mother is driving us up a wall. It's no good for her. And it's no good for us having her in the family anymore. I just don't know what to do. If I could only get her into one of those elderly projects.
Well, I'm afraid your mother is a very low priority, Mrs. Durgan. There are no vacancies. And realistically, she couldn't be considered for at least 2 years.
But in 2 years, Mom could be gone. I really want to make sure that her final years are comfortable ones for everybody.
Well, I'm very sorry, Mrs. Durgan. But the cruel truth is that our waiting lists are unbelievably long. And that means that everyone, even the elderly, have to wait.
Let me ask you this. When a new tenant moves in, they normally pay a security deposit, don't they?
Yes, that's our procedure.
Well, would it help my mother's chances if I were to double that security deposit?
As I explained...
Triple it?
I don't think you understand...
Quadruple it. And pay it directly to you.
That would be...
A security deposit. Nothing else.
Well, it might be possible. As a matter of fact, there is an elderly project in Queens that might have a vacancy.
Queens would be perfect.
Flora's going to jail. She's accepting a bribe, and she's going to jail. Mrs. Durgan can go to jail, too, for making a bribe. Now, let's get organized. So far, we've seen 2 Housing Authority employees accept bribes. What we don't see is the effect of their criminal behavior. The New York City